So this apparently is part 2, long video. I was talking about the book and what I want to say and how I want to say it. And it's not, I don't think what I want to say is particular to Scientology. I think it's more particular to the idea of brainwashing and how it occurs and how you make a choice to buy into something on faith or even miracles. I would be a liar, and I think many people who've been in Scientology for a long time who've left would be lying if they said they didn't witness miracles while they were in Scientology. Miracles happen every day. Christians tend to think of the miracles that Jesus performed and stuff like that, or Moses, or any number of biblical miracles. But in the East, you've got miracles that it's just normal. It's not that impressive. Well, they are truly transformative. I've seen people from in Scientology get Scientology processing, go through it, and come out a little better in a miraculous way. Like one specific thing is just no longer a problem for them. And most of those people left after that. So I can't discount that. Now, whether that's Scientology or them, see, I believe that it's them. They're the ones that, whatever it is that they're talking about in their sessions and whatever, it's to make it simple, they stop buying into some idea, whatever the idea is. And I think the same is true in any realization that you may have through faith or meditation. The ideas that you have about yourself and the way that you treat others have a profound effect, a miraculous effect, if you make some sort of positive change through that process. And to me, that's a miracle. That's the miracle of a human being, that we have the ability to make choices, to decide, you know what, I've been told my whole life I'm a piece of shit, but guess what, I'm not. Or my whole life I've been treated like shit and been raped and abused, and I've been called a whore and a drug addict, but I'm not. And I have seen these transformations happen overnight. I've seen them happen over time. They happen. They're miracles. You can call them, recovery. That's okay to call it whatever the hell you want. I'm calling them miracles. Because when you see a person change like that, it is like you are watching someone being born, and born again, but truly born again, in a new way, in a positive way. So, my thought process can be disjointed, and I acknowledge that. Post a few videos. Honestly, I posted some videos of me playing guitar and talking about guitar lessons to see who's going to stick around. Were you interested in just the Scientology gossip, or were you interested in a person, in their story and their journey, and what could you learn from that? I get a feeling that all of my subscribers, all of you, have that interest, not just in other people, but in yourself. And whether you've achieved that or not, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but the interest, you know, in how you or anyone else copes with these kinds of everyday life stresses. The weeds are always going to grow up around the flowers. You can tend the garden and let the weeds grow up, choke out all the flowers. Or you can cut the weeds are always going to grow. That's the point. So there's always going to be stress, stressors, anxiety, sadness, depression. These are all normal, okay, human things to feel. Anger. Where it gets troublesome is when you can't let go. And you can't let go unless you've experienced and gone through those emotions honestly. And sometimes if there's a lot of that stuff that you've got, it takes a commitment to a personal commitment to yourself to sort through that. The benefits are substantial. So with that in mind, that's kind of where I'm thinking with the book, because I can talk about my past experiences. That's not a problem. Like it's an easy thing for me to do. I did it on fucking YouTube, right? But it's how I'm framing it, like the initial idea for my book, is framing it in a very like negative aspect. Poor me. And I don't feel poor at all. I feel very rich. I got no income, but that's not a measure of wealth, in my opinion. I've been very lucky for all of it, because we come into this world with nothing and we're leaving it with nothing. So everything in between, I look at as profit. Lessons learned, God, the people that you can't stand, the people that really push your buttons in life, the people that really get a reaction out of you and make you crazy and make you want to, hurt yourself or others, or demean yourself or others. Those are your best teachers. It may take time for you to learn those lessons and realize that you can't fight hate with hate, not against yourself, not against another person. All you can do is love. Send love to yourself and love to others. And I will admit it can be hard. The trip to the airport, the last time I was in Louisiana, was very difficult, but I managed. I did not succumb to, and if you're an ex-Scientologist, succumb, there's a whole trigger word. It's just a word. It's just a fucking word. I did not succumb to the anger that I didn't drop down to that level. I overcame that. So that was a big deal for me, a big deal. It was pretty much a miracle. So, yeah, I have the resource there for the X's, but I pulled the videos because some of the X's that I made contact with, I had no desire anymore to have contact with, and I was sort of getting pulled into this negative circle of chatter and gossip. And I didn't want to be part of it. I really don't. Had enough of that. Like, I love everybody. I support everybody. I want to support everybody who's been affected by this, and I care about their mental health, obviously, too. But you can't force anything. You can't force someone's idea. They have to buy. They have to choose what to buy. They're a choice-making machine. They have to choose. Okay, that was back there. That's over with. It's done with. And it was a great teacher. It was a great teacher. Much like Helena Ulentz, who I felt a very strong connection with, regardless of I have no connection with her outside of internet interactions. And she's since removed most of her videos as well, but she, in her last video, thanked Scientology for being such a great teacher. After many videos of talking about how horrible it was. And I mean, she lambasted, every part of the church she could think of that she was involved with. And she wasn't a staff member. She was, I don't know what she was. She was a public for sure. But a lot of mind fuckery, I suppose. And she bought into it. And so her lesson and her teacher was Scientology, and so was mine. Also Catholicism, also a narcissistic father, who I love. I love him. That's all I know how to do anymore, because I'm not going to respond to it with hate. That just doesn't, it has never worked out well. And I don't suggest responding to hate with hate. So I say very crucially that we should be careful, everyone should be careful to think about what they're saying insofar as what you're talking about the church. You will not defeat hate with hate. It just won't happen. You're creating more hate. So I won't do it. That's my goal. My goal is to respond to hate with love. And so whereas before I hated the Church of Scientology, now I just send it love. There are people in there. There are people in there that are buying into this shit. They're buying into the idea that they're not good enough. They're buying into the idea that they have to pay money to be spiritually enlightened. And the same goes for Catholicism. People buy into the idea that it's okay that these priests rape and molest children because the Catholic religion and faith is a holy faith, and those people are just, evil people. Well, I don't even subscribe to that. I think that instead of hating a religion, an entire religion, there's so many people in there that are good people. People are, there's a lot of good people. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, Send love to those people. The same way you would handle, okay, so it comes down to this. Bigotry and racism and sexism and homophobia, let's put the shoe on the other foot and not make it about religion. Let's make it about something like that. What do? You may not agree with that. You may think that that's a bad way to live or whatever. I personally think that racism is a terrible thing. My stepfather is very racist. But I still send love. I still respond with love. Now, hard lesson learned. He's been a great teacher to me. All I can do is send him my love. I can't. It's difficult Just like it would be difficult for me to go hang out in a church of Scientology or to start subscribing to another religion, that's difficult because those have been some of the hardest learned lessons in my life and the best teachers as well. And that's valid, I believe. I believe that those are valid thoughts. And now I've just got to figure out how to put all of this together into a book or an audiobook or something. Because it's all in my head and I want it on paper. I want a record of it. Like, I feel like I made some pretty substantial progress over a long period of time. And I want to share it if it can help. It may not help anybody, but if it helps one person, and again, that was the whole point of the first video. If any of my videos help one person, which I already know it has, one person has left and has not returned to Scientology, it's worth it. Because of what you're buying into, it's not worth buying into. Of course, there's concepts in all religions that are going to have some truth. But you know how it works. The whole give them a little bit of truth so that you can implant them with a lie. They're all valid experiences. The pain, the depression, the suffering, the overcoming, they're all valid experiences. To me, what is invalid is buying into something that you don't really believe and letting someone else tell you something and tell you, well, this is how it really is, when you know in your guts that it's not true. Because, well, example, I knew in my guts that some of what we were doing at the missions was wrong. It was contradictory to some of the good concepts in what we're being taught. Same applies for other religions. Same applies for relationships. So there's a valid way to, the valid way is to validate yourself. And if you think that's a selfish idea, then I would urge you to explore that, because I don't believe that it's a selfish idea unless you're putting some burden on somebody, some burden of some kind, like a financial burden or an emotional burden. In that case, it could be selfish. But if you're not putting some sort of burden on somebody, then it's not a selfish thing to validate your ideas and to fully explore those ideas and the validation of them, and to do what it is that you feel is right. Whether that's open a bakery, play music, write a book, whatever. So long as you're not hindering someone and being hateful and being a burden to someone, then it seems valid to me. But what's invalid is when you start to let someone else dictate what you think and feel. Then you're lost. I was. I mean, if there's someone out there that have figured out a way for someone else to let them tell them how to think and still feel like a valid human being and that your own thoughts are valid, then let me know, because I think that's worth discussing and exploring and possibly researching. I don't think that it is possible to be to validate yourself like that. So I love you guys. I'm glad I made this video. I don't prepare these things. I just speak from the heart, and I wish you all well, and live long and prosper. And let me know what you think. I haven't opened up like this in quite some time, and there's some lack of, I don't want to say lack of sincerity. Every video that I make for you guys is for you, but and for me too. It's for us. But I do feel like this little hour-long discussion that I've had with myself is I've been speaking from the heart, and I hope that it reaches you in a positive way. And if there's anything I can do to help, don't be shy to ask. I've got many friends that I stay in contact with that I met here, in the virtual. And that's not weird to me. A lot of people think it's weird that you meet people online and then you start talking to them in real life, and that's like weird somehow. No, it's just, this is technology. This is a way for you to meet people. It's a social network. It's an extension of humanity's ability to network. I mean, when I was growing up, when you were growing up, maybe there was no kind of network like this. Your network was your family, your friends, a phone, and that was it. Now we have computers that are like phones, and we can share and network across the entire world. And part of the reason that I have so many friends all over the world is because I got into networking and computer technology early. I was an early adopter of almost everything. So I've got a worldwide network of friends. Sometimes it's overwhelming. Believe it. There's a lot of people out there that not only care about me, but care about you too. And I'm one of them. So if I can help in any way, please don't be shy. I mean, I'm almost at the hour mark here. I feel like I should just blab for another 3 minutes. Yeah. So I'll say this. I met, I already said it, but the person that I met that I feel we are good partners is none other than Dead Girl, who used to watch the streams and be very, she was always very complimentary and what's the word? Supportive of my music. Those were the things that she really looked forward to watching. And when I did the live streams, she would comment afterwards, like, "Oh, I missed it." yeah. Life is funny and strange. I would have never met her had it not been for this YouTube thing. I feel dated saying that, this YouTube thing. So, yeah, I've already said it, live long and prosper. Hope you guys have a great day. Was it Tuesday? Yeah. Tuesday, May 21st. Right? Close enough. Love you guys. Live long and prosper.